Hello, everybody. Oh, cold in Paris, even colder than the mountain. I mean, it's not colder, but it's got more humidity and no sun, so it feels colder. So, my dear friends, welcome today for a tour about the two most important royal palace inside Paris. Of course, we've got outside Fontainebleau or Versailles or many castles in the Loire Valley. Hello, Janine. But here today, we are in the one in the center of Paris, which have been the place since Louis XIII to Louis XVI, the place of the king's house. And before Louis XIII, since Charles, well, I should say by death, it will be maybe easier for you. So, I mean, one of these palaces is dating from, I should say, from the 16th centuries or 17th centuries, depends if you take the beginning of the end. And the other one is dating for more than that. We're going to speak about it. Bonjour, Beth. He's the same on this platform. Okay, hello, Lee. Good. Thank you, by the way, to all the one who sent me their thank you for all who have sent me their details. So like that, I'm collecting your email and I will be able to write to you and to create the newsletters in a couple of days. I'm just waiting for more address, but I'm going to write to you, I think, by this weekend. So my dear friends, let's start the tour because it's a short tour, so I don't want to spoil your time. So where are we right now? Let me show you. We are, I don't know if some of you know the inside of this building, and some of you know these little kind of small columns, which are getting taller at the edge. Do you recognize this place if you already have been in Paris or not? Does it sound familiar to you? Vendôme? No, Violet? It's not Vendôme. Not far away, but not Vendôme. Louvre? Not the Louvre. Very close, very close. No, very close. This is not the Louvre. Aha. So, it's the other palace. Yes, the other palace. Absolutely. That's a good reply. Palais-Royal. Yes, Scott. That's it. The Palais-Royal, the Royal Palace, Palais-Royal. Absolutely. So, what are these Palais-Royal comparing to the Louvre? In fact, the Louvre was a former Middle Age castle which was built in the 1200s and then has been used by the King of France from the 1400s and has been completely renovated in a Renaissance palace in the 1500s and then be the home of the king and the home of Louis XIV, Louis XIII, and before that, François I and Henry IV, and many kings of France, and has been the palace for the kings and later on, even the Emperor of France. But after the death of Henry IV, when he has been murdered in 1610, to be precise, by an extremist Catholic named Ravaillac, his son, Louis XIII, was too young to be the king. I mean, he was the king, but he was too young to rule France. So due to that, we decided, the people at that time decided that they have to get kind of tutor, and this tutor was going to be a bishop who was going to be a kind of prime minister. His name Richelieu. Oh, Richelieu. Maybe you heard that name because Richelieu is also, the guy in red in the Three Musketeers, for instance. You worked there before, but great. And so this bishop, who was going to be in charge of France and in charge of the king, need to be next to the poor, next to the king, but couldn't live in the Louvre because he wasn't from the royal family. So due to that, he built a palace next to the Louvre, right in front of the Louvre, and this is it. So the building that you see now, it's dating from the, I mean, from the 17th century because it has been built starting in the 1600, the early 1600 in 1610. And Richelieu lived here, and that was the, how can I say, small, humiliate, with a lot of, kind of very humiliate, humble house of the bishop. And so it was named the Palace Cardinal, the Bishop Palace, as he used to live here. And by that palace, you have got a garden, which are the garden of the royal palace. So what is named the royal palace? Because Richelieu was also a wise man, and he knew that the king of France, when he was going to be an adult, Louis XIII, maybe a little bit jealous that a bishop has got such a big palace next to his. And so, as he didn't want to be annoyed by that, he said, well, anyway, I'm a bishop, so I have no kids. Well, we are not sure he didn't have got kids, but anyway, officially he had no kids. And so due to that, he has no heirs. So he said, at my death, the palace will become part of the French crown. So that's why it has been named the Royal Palace. It has been changed the name from the Bishop Palace to the Royal Palace. And here you see the garden of the Royal Palace. And it's going to be the place where the king could live. But in fact, no kings live there because the kings were always living in the Louvre. And after the Louvre, they lived in Versailles. And so no kings live here. Well, just for couples of weeks. Louis XIV, when he was a baby, lived here. And but in fact, he wasn't. He wasn't really in here. And this palace always have been by king's family, like his uncle or his brother, or some relatives were living here. And it has got an incredible history, that palace, because during the time of Louis XVI, at the time of the Revolution, the people here, in fact, were coming to make incredible party at night. During the time, oh, it was nice, during the time you've got this gallery, which were shopping gallery, cafe for the men, for the ladies. It was, how can I say, very respectful. And you could walk in the garden. Of course, if you were part of the nobility, nobody were accepted here if you were not part of the nobility. It was guarded, okay? So you could only enter here passing a gate to be sure you were part of the people invited here. Yes, it was a notorious bishop, absolutely, Lasta, called Richelieu, Rechelieu, Richelieu. And so during the time, it was very respectful. People were coming here, as I said, eating, having a tea or thing like that. But during night, oh my God, that was completely changing. It was a place of pleasure. The cafe suddenly changed into bar where they were serving lots of alcohol. The cafe were also a place where the people were playing money games like card games or dice game, and the ladies were not anymore the respectable ladies from the monarchy, from the nobility, but young ladies who could sell their beauty against some present or some money. So this place that we are in now was considered to be a kind of huge brothel, if I can say, in Paris. Okay, and only the people from the nobility could be here. So of course there was all the things which were not legal: the game money, the prostitution, and drugs. But the police at that time, well, the kind of police which were there at that time, couldn't enter because it was royal properties. So if you were invited here by the king's family, you could be here and you could do whatever you wanted. Cardinal Richelieu, absolutely, Audrey. And so all that stopped at the revolution, because at the revolution, this place became not anymore a king place because the king was dismissed, okay? And even though the brother of the king, the brother of the king who was living here, changed his name. He was named, okay? He was named Orléans so it was Philippe d'Orléans. He was the person who was going to be so not the brother, sorry, the cousin who was going to be who could be a replacement for the king in case, but he hasn't been, and he become part of the revolutionary. He changed his name from Philippe Égalité, Philippe Equality, one of the words of our motto, liberté, égalité, fraternité. So Philippe Equality, and he, during the trial of the King Louis XVI, he even voted for the death of his family. And so we say, that's why we say in French, that in fact the king has been even murdered by his own family, not only by the revolutionary. So this place is absolutely fabulous because during the time it's a public garden, so it's closed at night, but during the time it's a public garden where you can go, where you can stroll, where you can play balls, where you can eat, where you can have picnic. There is a big fountain in the middle where we are, and I don't know if you hear, but look, I'm going to speaking for just couples of seconds and listen. You see, you don't hear any noise of the city. We are just a couple of meters from one of the main streets in Paris, but you don't have noise because due to the big buildings which are surrounding the square, it is very, very calm. And well, there is a party going here, but a part of that is very calm, and you can hear kind of serene time. And I really love to come here when I'm by the Louvre. It's so different than the Louvre, which is so busy with the museum and many, many peoples going in. It's always very busy. And here, just in front of it, couples of meters in front of it, you've got this incredible garden and this incredible palace. So nowadays, this palace is not anymore a real palace. Of course, you can imagine we don't have king in front. So in fact, they have got three public buildings, public organization. One is a Ministry of Culture. Okay, look this beautiful image. I think it's with the little, it's getting a little dark and there's kind of little, not clouds, but kind of little fogs arriving in Paris. And I think I really love this image. Yeah, the light is stunning, no? It's a little, yeah, it's a bit cloudy, a bit foggy, and it gives a perfect, incredible light. I hope you enjoyed it. You enjoyed it, sorry. So, what I was saying, I'm losing my words. Yes. No, I forgot what I was saying. I suddenly stopped for the light, and that's completely cut my storytelling. Anyway, we are live now, so it's going to come back to me. Oh, yes. I said we have got three public buildings, so I remember now. So I said the first one is the Ministry of Culture, and the second one is, well, there is two court of justice, but they are very chambers, which are one is a Cour constitutionnelle, and which is a kind of place like the Supreme Court in the U.S. In the 16th, see what were all these rooms used for? Could not just be a rooms for extended royal family where they were. No, when the Cardinal Richelieu was there, it was in fact only the use of the cardinal. Well, the cardinal have got a large groups of people with him. Also, he has got his own guard. They were the cardinal guards, and they were wearing, the king guards were having a blue, kind of a blue jersey. I don't know exactly how to say that. A cape, kind of blue cape with a white cross on it. And the cardinal, the bishop soldiers had get a red one, which is the color of humility for the church. A red one with a white cross on it. And if you remember the Three Musketeers, you will see them always fighting together. And so, in fact, it was used for the bishop place. And nowadays, inside this beautiful place, you've got some modern art sculpting, like this fountain, which is where you can see me inside. Maybe I don't know if I say like that. You look here. Here it's me. Look, I zoom on me. Hey, hello. You see me? do you see me in the mirror? So you see these balls which are reflecting your image, and which is supposed to be a fontaine in summer. And you also have got these columns that we saw at the beginning, which are named the Buren column. Buren or Buren, depends if you spell in English or in French. Buren in French, Buren. He's a French sculptor, a French artist, and has been asked in 1989, at the time of the building of the pyramid, he has been asked to build here an art things. So you have to imagine that before here it was a parking lot. So the cars were parked here, and it was quite ugly. And so he has been asked to make these art, and he did these columns. Buren, these artists, have got a kind of obsession, 7.2 centimeters. So each line, white or black, are always 7.2 centimeters. And you see what is interesting? You think the columns have got different size, but not at all. Because we still have got, underneath the column, you see here, you've got the ground floor. And in fact, the columns are all the same. They are just put at a different level. So the one which are very, 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 very small outside mean they are completely touching the ground floor, like this one. But in fact, the columns has got the same size, but just hide it inside. And the one which are like this one outside, in fact, they have nearly no place inside, and most of the column is outside. Yeah, it looked like chess pieces, or it also people say like it was a casino here. It looked like a poker chips. Lots of different option and version about what they are. So quite interesting. And the people now loves to do that. You see, they loves to work on it. You can stand on an art. It's free to do it. It's authorized to do it, and you can have a kind of chat over there. So let's go out of here. It's Colette apartment, Mark. So yes, because we have got, no, it's not Mark, but it's we have got the square which is in front of here is named the Place Colette. Which Colette she's a French writer, which is a fantastic woman writer, and she's also a feminist. And she used, to be one of the first ladies who decided to wear a pair of trousers when it was forbidden. So at that time, wearing a pair of trousers, you were looking like a kind of anarchist, kind of subversive person, and you could even have got a fine for that. And so Colette, who wrote a lot, well, she was bi person, she was bi, so she was going with men and women, and well, anyway, and so the square here it's named the Square Colette, Place Colette. Uh, And so now we leave the building. Yes, she was a wonderful writer, and she wrote the Claudine book, 5 books, and I do a tour about her. So if you like her, you should come with me because I do a tour about her. And you see that called here, the national domains of the Royal Palace. You see, domaine national. So it's a domain, a king domain. So you see here the garden where we have been strolling. Okay, the big fountain in the middle, and here you've got the two piece of art that I showed you where I put myself inside. And here there is all the columns. And here you've got the buildings. So you've got here you've got the theater. So here you see it's written Place Colette. Here you've got the theater, Comédie-Française. Here you've got the Court of Justice. Here you've got the Ministry of of Culture. And here you've got the State Council, which is another Supreme Court. And so if you cross the street now, you pass by some very beautiful and old cafe, and everything you see here is dating from the 17th centuries. And the Nemours, it's an old cafe dating from that, and it's beautiful. And it's not too expensive, a cafe at the bar. So standing at the bar is €1.40 here. So not bad to be in such a beautiful place. And so in front of it, if I just go out of that, you see, so now I'm walking in the street. So I have just to adapt a little bit my gimbal. Here it is, because it was a little bit moving. So if I cross the street, not to be run down by a car, you've got the Louvre. You see the Louvre is just here. So you've got right in front of that building, the building of the Louvre. So this is the outside of the Louvre, of course. We're going to go inside. I mean, not inside the museum, but inside the court, inside the square. But that's the building of the Louvre. And so you see, if I turn my gimbal now, and if I go the other side, what do you find? You find the palace of the bishop. So you see, all that were the building used by the bishop, on which is nowadays, as I said, the Supreme Court of Justice. So that's why you don't have a king flag at the top, but you've got a Republican flag because it's a public building. So you see, going from here to here, it's just half minutes just to cross the little square in between, and you arrive to the Louvre. So I propose for the last part of the tour that we cross the street, we pass by what we call the Richelieu Gallery, because by the name of the cardinal, of the bishop who built the palace. So we're going to cross the street here. We're going to enter, so by the wing Richelieu. So the car should stop because it's a pedestrian crossing and they can't move. So, okay, have to be careful with the bikers, which are more dangerous than the cars, in fact. And we pass inside the Louvre. So now we are entering by one of the wing, of the side wing of the Louvre, one of the side doors. And this is called the wing Richelieu. That's where you can see from both sides the inside of the Louvre, in fact, where you've got the French skirting. So the signal here is very poor because we pass on the Louvre. So don't worry, it's going to be better after. So you see here you've got the French skirting department. You see, quite interesting. So this is the Louvre, okay? If you've never been to the Louvre, you see the Louvre from here. That's the inside of the museum. And we ourselves, we pass right in the middle. And as soon as we arrive in the middle of the Louvre, we are going to see what you all know, which is what makes the Louvre also famous. And you see, I think it's reconnecting. Okay, you're connected. I've just stopped this for a couple of seconds. Just when I see the Café Marly. You see the Café Marly, which is a very chic cafe. Oh, it's so nice. You know, if say at Café Marly, Marly, say yes. The cafe is quite expensive, turning, because you are outside, inside at the same time, because you are outside the building, but you are inside the land. You've got the Louvre land, and I'm going to show you. Oh, the signal is going up and down. Now it's going down again. I don't know why. It was perfect, and just so I'm just going to try to move a little bit to find a place. Oh, here it seems okay. And of course, I want before the end of the tour, what we all know worldwide famous nowadays. So that's all the Louvre. Of course, the pyramid, which is right here, and that's a superb view of the Louvre with the building and the pyramid. Enjoy it. Take as many pictures as you want, and have it for you. Yes, absolutely. The architect is Pei. He was a Chinese-American architect. He built it in 1989 for the 200th anniversary of the French Revolution, asked by our president at that time, François Mitterrand. And this is this is one of the entrances to go to the museum. Yeah, it's beautiful by night. I'm going to try to go, but I'm not sure about the signal, okay, Matthew and Mikhail? So I'm going to try to look. So don't forget, at the origin, the Louvre, when it has been rebuilt in 1500, was only that building, only this building, okay, by François Ier, and before Catherine of Medici, the wife of Henry II. So that's the first building. And then bit by bit, we start enlarging the Louvre by the building which are here. By Henry IV, did the buildings, and all the kings by years and years, they enlarged the Louvre to finally go up to there. And after that, we have got a building at the end which has been completely destroyed, which was called the Tuileries Palace, destroyed. And we have here the rest of the building, which is started from here by Louis XIV. Then Napoleon the First did it, and that is Napoleon the Third. So in fact, the Louvre has been built, if I could say, from the what you see nowadays, starting in the 1500s and finished in the 1900s, more or less. Okay, and because the last part of the Louvre is, of course, the pyramid. So let's try to walk by the pyramid. I'm not sure about the signal, but let's try to be able to show you the inside of it. I hope you have got a great time. Of topic question, I only seems to see pigeon at Notre Dame and not elsewhere. I'm just not seeing them to do the fuck around. Well, that's true. It depends of the also because sometimes at Notre Dame there is always people which are feeding the pigeon. So I think the pigeons are clever and they go to the place where they are feeded. Here, not too much. Yeah, perfect. No, look at that. Good to food. And so I try to show you the inside from here. If the signal keeps good. Yeah, okay, so we can see the inside. So you see, you've got the elevator. Driving with an elevator. It's funny elevators, no? And she's going to go to the top because she has the kids with her. You see, it's a kind of elevators. And if I show you the full inside, so here you've got the top of the pyramid that we speak in the Da Vinci Code, of course, at the end of the movie. And here you've got one of the helicoidal staircase, which go from the bottom to the top. Oh yes, the pyramid has been very controversial, but this is very French. French, how can I say, way of thinking. Whenever we've got something new, we don't like it. It's like that. We are very, very grumpy in France. So something is new, we don't like it. And after that, after a couple of years, we like it. And even that, after that, we love it. So at first, the pyramid was so controversial that the first week, people came here with painting and they dropped painting on the windows and they covered the pyramid with just to people have such a modern it's attracting so many people that we love it. Yes, that at the end of at the beginning of the movie, because the curator of the Louvre is killed in the Louvre. That's the starting point of the movie, and at the end of the movie too. But if you haven't seen the movie, I'm not going to say why because I don't want to spoil it. Oh, look, that lady is dancing. She's making a kind of she's dancing in front of the Louvre. It's a pyramid. She's making a kind of show for her viewers. That's quite funny. She's looking, the camera is on the floor and she's dancing. Okay, it's finished. She's going to check if everything was good. Should I do that? TikTok model, yes, absolutely. That's that's cute. I say hello to her when I pass by. My turn. Okay. Okay, so I do like that. Okay. Hop, hop. You like it too? I think she's doing better than me. Ah, she can do it. She can do it. Look. Have a good day. She came to me and she did it. Is the pyramid the main entrance? Yes, this is the main entrance, but not the unique entrance. There is another entrance. Oh, look, the Eiffel Tower. The Eiffel Tower is blinking. Do you see the Eiffel Tower in the dark? Strange, strange. The signal don't down. Maybe too many people using the signal. Uh, but now I'm back. I can't stop. I don't know why. Because I don't move so much, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. I don't know what's happened with the signal. So my friends, I better stop because the signal is very, very weak. Losing the signal. I try to towards and stuff. Or maybe too cold because it's really cold. So I don't know if it's the coldness. I don't know if it's too many TikTokers behind, but the signal doesn't is not stable at all. Now it's good, but it's being 5 to 1. I have no idea why. So my friend, I better stop. More of it. Anyway, it's really cold and I'm freezing cold. So I just want to say thank you to having with me. Don't forget that I go to Brittany Friday. I will be at home and I will do a cooking show with galette bretonne. If you want some galette, if you want some crepe, if you want some good eggs, if you want some nice butty, salted caramel or thing like that, be with me on Friday evening, 7 p.m. For the tour. Okay, and that will be a great time, and let's have some cider together. Columns were received. Oh, they were awfully received. The columns Buren, they were even worse than the pyramid. And to be honest, I don't like it so much either. So, my dear friends, bye bye. See you soon. And I'm also going on Sanka. Brittany Place will be on Sunday evening. I will put it online tonight. Thank you so much for having with me. Thank you so much for your donation. Take a great care of yourself and see you the day after tomorrow for Galette Bretonne. Bye bye. Bees from Paris. Bye bye, everybody.